What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, we got to talk about another round of layoffs. And it feels like it just continues to get worse and worse. Today, particularly, was a really bad day. You had yesterday with supermassive games. It feels like even this week. And I did predict things. I don't want to be right on these kind of things. I did say 2024 was going to be much, much worse than 2023 with layoffs, and it's absolutely coming true. And this comes from a studio that's near and dear to my heart, and I truly mean that. So I firstly, and I try to say this in all the videos that I cover, these studios, whether they're closures or people being laid off, I feel really bad for them. I really hope they land on their feet because I think it's a talented group. And, behind me here, Life is Strange Before the Storm, I know not everybody's a fan, okay? I'm a really big fan of Before the Storm. I'm a fan of the farewell episode that they did, and I'm a huge fan of Life is Strange True Colors. I think Deck 9 really knows how to do Life is Strange. And now that's not the last game they made. We'll talk about that in a second. But I think they're really good developers. I think they're really good Life is Strange developers. And so what happened? Well, they issued a statement. And again, this comes after PlayStation. So you lost 900 people from PlayStation. And later in the day, like many others in the game industry right now, Deck 9 has been affected by the game industry's worsening market conditions. Today, we made the difficult decision to lay off 20% of our staff. These people are amazing, talented, and awesome developers. They have made a huge impact during their time at Deck 9, and we did not take this decision lightly. Please hire these people if you can. They're amazing. So there you go. I don't know how strong, like the actual number of developers they had. I imagine, they're like a mid-tier, they're not ones that have like 200, 300, 400 people, but they're also not ones that have like 20, 30, 50. I imagine their team would be around maybe like the 80 to maybe 120, somewhere in that range. So they probably lost probably a good 20, 25 people, I would imagine. I don't know that for sure. Like a lot of these things, sometimes they say the numbers, like PlayStation said earlier today, right? 900 people or 8% of their workforce. Sometimes you just get the percentages, and sometimes like the profiles of these companies, sometimes they're outdated. We don't know how many people are there. I don't think it's not a disaster. I feel bad for the people that are gone, and again, I think they're very talented individuals, so I hope they find work. It doesn't seem like a death blow to Deck 9 like we have seen potentially with other studios. If you lose 40, 50, 60% of your team, half your team, chances are things are going to be really, really messed up going forward, and you're going to have to figure it out. 20% is definitely, it's still bad, okay? I don't want to, diminish it completely, but it's absolutely not as bad as some of the things that we have, seen. I do want to bring up The Expanse because it was the last thing they did, and they kind of were like the heads of it, right? Whereas Telltale was kind of the publisher. They were kind of the lead developers. And you could sense that game had absolutely no traction, and I imagine it didn't. I don't know. They don't say the sales or anything like that. I imagine, and I don't want to know for sure, but I can take a guess. I would imagine these layoffs are probably a pretty close result of The Expanse not doing so well. Now, again, these guys have never made the highest selling things humanly possible, right? True Colors, I don't think anybody knows the sales of True Colors. Really, the only Life is Strange game we know for sure is the first game that did, 20 plus million, outrageously good, and nothing has, come close. So we don't know the numbers for True Colors. Obviously, that was back a few years ago. Hopefully, we can get another Life is Strange game. And then The Expanse, we don't know how it did. From the engagement on social media, which, yes, is not everything. It's not. But from trailer views and likes and dislikes and comments and just what you saw online, it really seemed like this game was the smallest niche you could shoot for, and I don't think it worked. So I'm not saying don't do that stuff more often. I'm sure people did like The Expanse, or some people did, and that's totally cool. Do you take a more safe bet, and do you do like a Life is Strange game next? I think you do. I've been predicting that for a while. I think we will get another Life is Strange game. I think that Life is Strange game probably comes from them. So not to make it all about the games, because obviously, you lose 20% of your studio. That is a big deal. Again, I hope it doesn't cripple the whole team, which I would doubt more than if it was 40%, 50%, right? I think that'd be a lot worse. But it sucks. And again, I really hold true to this is a studio that is kind of close to me. When I saw this post, my heart did sink. You feel bad no matter what. And in the last 2 years, it seems like every other day you just see a studio getting hit, right? But sometimes games mean more to one person than another, or studio mean. So seeing this post, again, the farewell episode might be my favorite Life is Strange episode ever created. And they made it. And I think they know Life is Strange with Before the Storm and True Color. So seeing that they got hit, it's like, ooh, it's kind of one of my favorite ones. Even I didn't like The Expanse. I mean, I'm sorry I didn't, but even with that being said, I mean, I trust these people, and I think they're very talented. So this one hurt. This one maybe hurt more than seeing Sony. And I mean, Sony was a larger, amount of people, and that sucked. And seeing Twisted Metal getting that absolutely hurt. But this one really stung. So hopefully these people find, locations and jobs elsewhere, and it continues to get harder because, the more people you fire or lay off across the industry, obviously they're all going to be competing for the same ones. That's going to be tough. But I feel bad, and I hope that the future of Deck 9 is okay. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.